Motivation is so important when it comes to success. It's often the hardest thing to find. If you want to lose body fat or hit that personal best, obtain those muscles you really want, motivation is key. So the best thing you can do is find something that motivates you. Find something that's going to keep you on track. Find that something that will keep you going when things get tough. Because unfortunately, there will be times when things get tough. There are times when I don't want to work out. I feel tired, or I'd rather be distracted by something else. That's when my self-motivation needs to kick in. And if I had one piece of advice to give when it comes to motivation, I'd say make it something that comes from within you. External motivations are fine, but they can change. And they can be affected by things out of your control. And control is so important. If your motivation comes from a partner or a training partner, that's great for a while. What happens when they decide to pack it in? What happens when they become unreliable? What happens when their progress is better than yours? You might find your motivation is affected by things out of your control. If your motivation comes from an Instagram model, or your friend's body transformation, or a magazine article, that's great for a while. I've spoken before about how these inspirations can quickly become a negative influence on you. How they can act as a comparison for your progress rather than motivation. Again, not really something you can control. So try to keep your motivation internal. Find something that you can rely on when you need to. There are a whole variety of tactics you can use, like visualizing what you want, constantly keeping that image in your head, telling yourself you need to do X, Y, and Z to achieve it, or set yourself small, manageable goals. Often there's nothing more motivating than knowing you're making progress, no matter how small it is. It all adds up. Or maybe it's a trigger phrase that you say to yourself. Something that you know is going to give you that kick up the bum. That reminder of what you're trying to do. Maybe it's finding a workout you love. Something that's going to encourage you to keep going. Especially during the times when you're feeling a bit nah. Maybe it's running. Maybe it's weight training. Maybe it's circuit training. Maybe it's Zumba. Who cares? Whatever works for you. And I would always suggest that you try to be flexible rather than rigid. Give yourself wiggle room. Try not to set definite times. Try not to set yourself extreme goals. Because there's nothing more demoralizing than failing to stick to some strict rule you've set yourself. Like the old classic is having to work out on a Monday, or the rest of the week is ruined. But not every Monday is going to be great for you. So you can't let it ruin everything else. Personally, I have a few coping mechanisms. I have certain things that I enjoy more. So when I'm not feeling up to it, I can do them instead and postpone what I was supposed to do until later on in the week. Or build yourself a buffer so that you can postpone things until further down the line. Sometimes I'll even barter with myself. Get this done and you can treat yourself to whatever. We all struggle with motivation at times. And sometimes even your motivation tactics won't work. But you just have to draw a line under that. Get back on the horse. Remember, every day is a new opportunity. And if yesterday was crap, doesn't matter. It's in the past. You hit that big old reset button and you go again. When you find the motivation that works for you, it'll work most of the time. And when it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. So long as you pick yourself up and keep heading in the right direction again. So set manageable goals with little markers along the way. Find the motivation that works for you. Try to ignore the little speed bumps and focus on the end game. Good luck, and see you again next week.